Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar. Then we'll go through the weather warnings, as we do have some heavy snow for some over the next few days, and then we'll have a look at the UKMO Operational Run, have a look at precipitation and temperature, and then we'll finally finish up having a look at the GFS and the ensembles as well, looking at what is the weather doing over the next few weeks. Does it look like it's going to be cold over the next sort of 5 to 7 days? Then it could be warming up a little bit with winds up from the south, but that could also be accompanied by more unsettled, potentially even some thundery showers or some full-blown thunderstorms potentially with that as well. So have a look at that in detail in the second half of the video. So remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. So if we do start by having a look at the live radar, you can see we have quite a messy picture out there at the moment with a lot of precipitation around. We see low pressure centered towards Denmark, all this precipitation spiraling around it, and you can see we've got really a mess over the UK at the moment. Lots of thick cloud and patchy to moderate rain. Heaviest rain across Northern Ireland into Scotland, especially over the higher ground, and now some more heavier patches moving into parts of Wales, northwest England. Elsewhere, just lots of lighter, drizzly rain moving through. Quite a miserable day and pretty chilly out there with a strong northwesterly breeze. And this precipitation is going to continue and even get reinforced tomorrow in the north, where some of it could be turning readily to snow over northern and eastern parts. And we'll have a look at that in detail in a minute. And they also have weather warnings around. Now you can see cold air is trying to dig in, but we're only seeing snow over the highest ground at the moment, but it is just to our northeast out in the North Sea, and it's ready to bump back in and turn more of this precipitation to snow over the next 48 hours. So do have a look at the weather warnings. You can see we do have two days of warnings. We have this yellow warning lasting from 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon until 9 p.m. 11 a.m. on Wednesday. Snow may cause some disruption across parts of Scotland later Tuesday and overnight into Wednesday. So persistent rain over northern Scotland will increasingly turn to snow over high ground during Tuesday, then perhaps the low levels in the afternoon and evening. This is likely to bring some accumulations above 100 to 200 metres, with 3 to 7 centimetres in places, and perhaps 10 centimetres above 300 metres. It's a light uncertainty by Tuesday night, but rain and snow is likely to become focused further north across Scotland, with a small chance of 2 to 5 centimetres settling at low levels on Wednesday. So not exclusively a high ground event perhaps, and 15 centimetres above 2 to 300 metres most likely across Caithness, Sutherland and Ross and Cromarty. The band of rain and snow is likely to move back southwards across Scotland during Wednesday, slowly easing. High impact, low likelihood, because as we'll see with the UKMO Operational Run in a minute, it's very uncertain where exactly that cold air mass does dig in, how far northwards the precipitation does push, because it does make a big difference. So do now have a look at that UKMO Operational Run, see what it's showing for precipitation and temperature over the next 5 days. You can see the precipitation moving in right now, and you can see through the early hours of tomorrow turning to snow over the high ground of Scotland, but elsewhere just rain. And you can see real heavy snow potentially turning more towards low-lying areas through Tuesday evening. But interestingly, on this latest UK Met Office run, it pushes that weather front much further northwards, with the heaviest precipitation falling offshore, with that cold air not quite undercutting it as much, so perhaps not signalling as much winteriness. Elsewhere, a lot of showers around, heavy, thundery showers, perhaps pushing in through early hours Wednesday, and you can see that potentially squall lines, real intense thundery activity, perhaps with this very heavy rain, squally conditions out there. So do take care, as even if you're not going to be impacted by this major rain/snow event across Scotland, there's going to be a lot of heavy showers around regardless of where you are. Through Wednesday afternoon, those showers continue through the evening before cold air digs southwards once again, and we go into this colder airflow pretty much the whole country. Wintry showers around, not quite as widespread as we saw the end of last working week, but still real cold, and the big risk is going to be frost, but there could still be quite a few wintry showers around as well. There we have to keep an eye on that. If we do have a look at these upper air temperatures, see what they're showing, you can see that cold air just lingering to our northeast at the moment. And as that low pressure bumps into the cold air tomorrow evening, that's where we could see snow. But you can see that cold line is just to the north of Scotland, whereas some of the other runs, and an earlier UKMO office run that was one before this had this line much further southwards, so bringing that cold air more into line with that precipitation, digging it in more, turning more of that precipitation to snow to low-lying areas. That's something we need to keep an eye on, but that cold air does eventually push back in from the north quite widely. You can see really quite cold conditions coming in for all areas, really pushing southwards before eventually it will get cleared from the west come the weekend, start of next week. So do have a look at those max temperatures. You can see today 13, 14, 15 degrees in the south. Not feeling like it though. Pretty chilly indeed out there. Or feeling chilly out there with a northwesterly wind. You can see by tomorrow afternoon around freezing across northern Scotland, but elsewhere in the south still 14, 15 degrees, hiding towards that milder air for early hours of Wednesday. Very cold across Scotland towards freezing in the south, 8 or 9 degrees. And by Wednesday afternoon, 11, 12 in the south, 3 or 4 in the north. We see this continue through Thursday. All areas starting to turn cold, holding maybe 10 or 11 in the south, but widely mid-single digits, if not lower than that. And Friday morning, widespread frost. Friday, another chilly day, maybe highs of 10 or 11 degrees in the far south, but feeling cold. And we're going to see repeat on Sunday, frosting once again, and Saturday again, widespread mid to high single digits, perhaps 9 or 10. Maybe 11 degrees along the far south, and that's going to continue into the weekend. So it's looking real cold over the next 5 days. Even if you're not going to see the snow that's across Scotland, or maybe some wintry showers through sort of Wednesday to Friday, all areas are going to be in a colder air mass, and it's going to feel chilly out there with below average temperatures, overnight frosts as well. So please do take care out there. It's going to be chilly, and especially with the winds coming in from the north and the northwest, it's going to feel really, really quite cold with quite a chilly wind chill out there as well. So we do now have a look at what the GFS and the ensembles are showing over the next couple of weeks. Now, if we do run through the latest GFS run, now you can see at the moment we are trying to pull in a northerly wind, but we got this milder air to our south, and eventually when this low forms through Wednesday, which forming that snow across Scotland, as it clears we start to go into a northerly airflow, pushing that cold air all towards the south, and we stay in this northerly airflow for a period before we do start to see low pressure run back in. But it's starting to bring winds up from the south, so potentially a more milder direction. So we flipped from very cold to very mild in the space of only a couple days, or even just a day or two. And even though it is warmer, we're still under low pressure generally, so it's going to be unsettled with thundery showers around. Eventually, that low pressure does clear, and we go more into a westerly flow for maybe signals of high pressure trying to build in right towards the last third of April. But at this stage, it's too far away really to make too many assertions. If we do have a look at those upper air temperatures, see what it's showing, you can see generally mild in the south, but that cold air is wrapping around. You can see by the end of this week takes over completely. We see that push of warmer air from the south by sort of Monday, Tuesday next week, but could be thundery with heavy showers associated with that. Before we just go more westerly pattern, not particularly mild, not particularly cold either. And of course, if we have a look at the potential equivalent temperatures as well, you can see those purples and blues coming in, flooding in from the north, very cold. If we see a bit of a warmer push, and we generally just stay around sort of just average really, but still feeling chilly with the airflow coming in from the northwest to westerly direction. So you finish the video by having a look at the ensembles. If you start with the GFS, you can see it well affected. Pretty mild at the moment in the south, but dropping much colder by the end of this week and staying pretty chilly indeed all the way until the start of next working week. And by that time, you see temperatures skyrocket at upper air, go from sort of 5 degrees below average to perhaps up towards 5 or 6 degrees above average, getting up towards 5, 6 degrees at 850 HPA. Could be seeing temperatures in the mid to high teens with that. But as I said, could be associated with heavier precipitation and some thundery showers as well. Too far away to say anything for detail, in terms of detail, because it is still a good 7 days away. But in that sort of pattern with low pressure associated, mixing with that mild, warmer air, definitely would be a recipe for heavy showers. Full temperatures return more towards normal or average, and maybe slightly above average for the foreseeable future. Now, if we do also have a look at what the ECMWF Ensembles are showing for the midnight run. You can see very similar indeed. Mild at the moment, turning much colder by the end of this week, then turning much milder, if not warmer, towards sort of 5 degrees above average, and then staying about around or slightly above average for the foreseeable future. A lot of precipitation around, like the GFS Ensembles, so it's looking very unsettled over the next couple of weeks. So even if we are going to see these milder temperatures, perhaps, it's going to be associated with precipitation, rain, cloud around as well, so it's not going to be sort of a dry, warm, high pressure system that I know some people will be looking forward to. So it's looking cold over the next 5, 6, 7 days, then perhaps the start of next week turning a bit milder, but not sort of a warm, high pressure system. It's going to be unsettled with a lot of thundery showers around, and that's something we need to keep an eye on next week, of course, because it could potentially spawn our first major thundery outbreak as we are sort of due at this time of year. So anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you stay safe out there if you are in the warning zones for snow over the next couple of days. And of course, there will be a lot of wintry showers and icy stretches and frost around as well. So do stay safe in that over the next few days. And hopefully, we will see return more to some spring-like weather over the next couple of weeks, perhaps even a little bit of warmth. But hopefully, we just see some high pressure returning. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.